life, every person is faced with important decisions about money and how to appropriately allocate it. There are budgets, kids, vacations, cars, homes, charity, and a number of other money decisions that all will have to make at some point. So how does one appropriately make these tough decisions? The first answer is to get educated. With the advent of online information so readily accessible, there is a greater opportunity to obtain education. Learning the right way to articulate financial phrases is a key beginning point. The major factor in poor investment decision is lack of education, due diligence, and poor planning. If, for example, it is your goal to save sufficient capital to pay for your children's college tuition, then you need to estimate a number that takes into account inflation and potentially increased tuition cost, and then put together a detailed plan for saving and turning the capital into growing capital based on wise, diversified investments. That is the solution. Planning and being meticulous in what the goal is, and then putting together a plan to accomplish the goal. Investment decisions. An important factor in any investment decisions should be whether you are diversifying your investments among unique groups and categories. Many investors feel like investments in real estate were the most secure, and as such, a number of successful investors were devastated after the real estate bubble burst the past few years. Many of them wish that they had diversified their investments into gold, oil, commodities, partnerships, and other investments. You can also invest in foreign currency trade, commodities, gold, silver, and other diversified investments. Trading decisions. If you are a money manager, trader, the same ideas apply that working with a diversified approach will give one of the best chances of being successful and profitable long term. So, if you trade foreign currencies, how does diversification take place? The answer is to utilize multiple, uncorrelated strategies so that if market conditions have unprecedented movements, which has happened often in the past 3 years, then theoretically, the other strategies are uncorrelated, and as such should continue their historical averages, then overall the month, quarter, or year can remain profitable. Utilizing short-term and long-term strategies is another way of diversifying. Additional methods of diversification include trade multiple currencies and forex, large cap and small cap stocks, municipal, corporate, and treasury bonds. Another very important factor is that risk should be equal, and that only in rare circumstances should additional risk be placed on one strategy, trade, or currency. In the end, investing and trading and money decisions come down to one thing. They are not an exact science, but rather a way of putting odds on one side, and if there are sufficient odds on one side included with risk management, diversification with multiple strategies and types, then the likelihood of long-term profitability is increased exponentially. And at the end of the day, there's a little more that can be asked.